Well, hello guys, welcome back to Let It Eat. Today is an update on the Silver Sleeper. So as you see right here, this is my old engine. It is mocked up with the with Kevin's used LSA. I got some brackets on here. I got a 8-rib tensioner on there, got the LSA pulley on there, and yeah, I had a huge curveball thrown at me. I have bought all kinds of stuff to make the LSA fit in the sleeper: heat exchanger, pump, tubing for the intake, all kinds of little odds and ends stuff that, you know, Nick Williams throttle body, you name it. I got it for the truck. I've got pretty much everything that I can think of. I made a spreadsheet on stuff that I might need, yada yada yada. Well, I have been getting a call back from Kong. I did send my supercharger off to Kong to get looked at, ported. I got a smaller pulley on it, a 235 pulley put on it, and I keep getting, oh, it's going to ship tomorrow, it's going to possibly ship the day after, or da 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 da. And it's to the point now, it is the 28th. Today is August 28th, and I'm running out of time. Like, I can mock up and pray and hope and stuff fits. I can put this supercharger on there and mock everything up, but that leaves me with one weekend to have that thing running, driving, fitting everything in it, making sure all the wiring's all good, all that good stuff in there in one weekend. And only having 1 week after work, I mean, I got a full-time job, 1 week after work to test to make sure this thing's roadworthy. I mean, I'm cutting it close as is. So the plan right now is to throw the old turbo back on. I got it in pieces right now. I'm inspecting it, making sure everything on it's good. I got some of the hot side over there, the other hot side is sitting over there. So yeah, we're going to throw the turbo back on, which is still going to take us some time. I got the fuel pump still to put on. I've got seats over there I got to put together because I'm sick of them race seats. Yeah, got to get drag radials mounted and balanced. I got to find some wheels and tires to throw on the back just to be safe, because we're driving 1,000 miles and you don't know what's going to happen in those 1,000 miles. So I'm at least going to bring 2 spares, so I'm going to put street tires on the back whenever I'm driving. There's all kinds of stuff. There's a bunch of what ifs. This truck hasn't drove in a while, and yeah, so that's where we're at. That's a huge curveball thrown my way. Like I said, we have basically 2 weeks. As far as me, 2 weekends for sure. Like I said, I work full time, and then after work it's so hot in Texas that I really don't want to mess with anything, but I have been coming out here and tinkering with some stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at right now. I gotta go ahead and take all this accessory stuff up and box it up. I'm still planning on going LSA on the truck later on. I may wait and do it whenever I do put the 6L80E back in it, but who knows. My biggest worry is that I'm gonna put the turbo back on there and not want to take the turbo back off. That's my biggest worry. So that's where we're at. As I was saying, yeah, going to see if we can't go back with the turbocharger at least for a little while, just to make it past the race. And it may be pretty cool to see what it'll do with this cheap Brazilian Master Power turbo before we put the LSA on there. Obviously we're going to make more power with this, but I like the reliability and not having so much heat under the hood with that. But yeah, I took it apart because I had a piston come apart just a little bit, not too bad. I don't know if you can see that or not. The very bottom, I guess the worst one right there. It's not terrible, but it's not ideal. It's about, like I said, they're all got little bitty chips in them, but nothing horrible. And I don't see any of the blades bent. So yeah, I'm checking it out, seeing how it looks, and if we had any issues. I did have, this was my fault, I think I had it clocked a little bit too far off, and also I used, I didn't have a seal for this, so I used RTV on there, and I think I clogged up the drain a little bit too much, as well as having it clocked off just a little too much. And I think it was going past the ring in here. There's not a seal, there's an actual ring. You might be able to actually see it on, let's see here, turn it over. Okay, right in there, that black thing, that black shiny thing in there, that's, they call it the piston ring. And that's the only thing really sealing it. Oil from not technically going out is not made to help oil from going out. It's to help pressure more than anything, and also hold the bearing in place. But if this isn't directly 12 o'clock up and down like that, so oil coming in the top, coming in up here, and oil going return down there, I think I might have had it clocked just a touch, and it may have been going to one side and seeping out here and coming off to the side, because I'm not having that much play. Don't really have any play in and out. I have a little bit this way, which you always will. Now a lot, you don't want a lot, but yeah, so that's what we're finding so far. It spins good. I got to move the heat shield so it don't hit it, but whenever the heat shield's not in the way, then it turns over good and doesn't really have any noises. So like I said, I'm just inspecting it before we put it on this lever. Well, it's been a real long night and day. As you can see, we got stuff strode everywhere. Got some tires over there, 6.0 over there, all the LSA stuff that I'm not even going to be able to use for a while over there. But we do have the Holly almost in. We got Justin here earlier. I didn't get to film that at all. Welded up the hot side because it did have a little bit of problems. So we're gonna put that in a second. Change over their gap and spark plugs. Rondi ran off somewhere. He was putting intake on. And then we got haircuts. Everybody's about to get a haircut here in just a minute. So yeah, it's moving right along. All right guys, a little tech tip or how to. This is just a Harbor Freight leak down tester that I've got rigged up to test when our wastegate opens. This will give us approximation about how much boost with the manual wastegate. So right now I got it hooked up. Whatever you do, you don't want to hook this thing up and it be maxed out to 100 psi. It'd probably blow the seal out in there. Right now I've got it at 0. Whenever this thing just ever so slightly starts to move is whenever you can calculate on here. I'll try and get both of them in the camera to show you about how many psi. So if it starts opening around, you know, 15, 17 psi, that should be roughly about how much boost you'll get if you have an efficient system. If you don't have leaks, if your turbo can keep up with it, yada yada yada. So what I'm gonna do is just turn it right there. We're at about 5 pounds. You're watching this too. We're at about 5 pounds there. I'm gonna keep turning it up, about 10 pounds there, 12, 13ish, around 15ish, getting close to 17, and it should move here in just a second. All right, it just barely moved right there, and I'm at 17 pounds. And as I open it, it's pushing that valve even further down. I'm at 20 pounds, and I think it maxes out about 25 pounds. So as you see right there, I'll come back down, and it's just slowly closing. We should be closing here in just a second, around 15, 17 pounds. See, now we're at 15. Yeah, opening again. So that's how you test it. All right, guys, I'm gonna turn my smoke machine on. I did find that we had a leak coming from that dark spot right there. A little history on this Holley high rise. This was one of the very first Holley high rises sold to the actual public. Kevin was all over the phone whenever it first, I don't think it was SEMA, I'm pretty sure it was I can't even say it, PRI. Whenever it first came out, and he was all over the phone, and it took him months to finally get him this thing. And at the time he kept calling. He said there was only one guy ahead of him. They were supposed to get one, so I'm gonna turn the smoke on and I'll show you exactly what's going on. Barely coming from there. So yeah, hopefully we can put a little weld on it and let her go, but that's where we've been having a leak from. What do you think, Cotton? I think it'll hold. Nice. Let it sit for a minute, or go ahead and smoke test it?
Let me put one more thing on.
So, heck yeah.
Smoker out.
Smoky time. No leaky. I think we're good.